Finally we're here again. Oh, finally we're here again. You've come back. You've come back here. Those of you who are returning, you're here. Those of you who've never been here before. Is that what you would say? You're here? No, that would be if I were awaiting you. Who are you? As if you've never been here before. Who am I? As if you've never been here before. Get away from me. As if I don't like you. Welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah? Don't know about that. Once again, we travel to a time many never knew. The 1970s in my period project, Dirty Rascal Magazine, set in the 70s but shot in an 80s style. This really has all the powerful characters and monumental intrigue of the finest melodramas. Journey with us to this world now. We'll talk about the project. Mm-hmm. Dirty Rascal Magazine, yeah, it's coming along like a train. Yeah, a train about the 70s, shot in an 80s style.
Yeah.
We've done this a few times, and
Yeah.
I think it's getting more and more special.
Yeah.
Could be super special. The more that we do it.
Yeah.
So
That's how most things work, isn't it?
yeah, well, that's the
Get
idea,
more
isn't it?
special the more they go on.
Yeah.
If something is special to begin with,
Yeah.
Mathematically, the more of the thing, the more special.
I think it's the other way.
Oh wait,
I
no, it's the other
It's
way
the less
around.
special.
Yeah, it's the other way around.
Because they're less
novelty.
rare. Yeah.
But if it's a special thing,
You're talking about
volumes of
biblically
specialness.
special, epically special.
Yes.
Like something that's like a gigantic diamond, yeah, something that's like
so
undeniably
more of
special, as opposed to something that's tastes good in the moment.
So circumference-wise, it's more special, but in
Like that.
terms of like quantity,
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's only one.
then
There's only one Dirty
yeah,
Rascal.
Yeah.
If you had a big
Yeah.
diamond and you just and you looked at it 5 times, it would still be a special diamond.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It would still be special to you. Whereas if you
would
had
it though? Would it? Because you've looked at it so many times, it'll never be the same as when you looked at it that first time.
True,
And
but
it's
it'd
like
still
that.
be
It's
worth
like-
a
Yeah,
lot of money.
monetarily, it's still
Monetarily,
special.
sure, unless diamonds for some reason start losing value because there's more of them and they become less special.
Between glances.
Between glances, it's like, you know when you watch your favourite movie and then you watch it again, it's slightly less special than when you first watched it.
Depends how long it was since the first time you watched it.
Also, second
still-
viewing, you may see stuff in the movie
Oh,
that
so
you didn't
especially
see
in
the
a
first
different
time, so
way,
then it's, the specialness increases.
remember that diamonds also, I mean, they have many facets.
Yeah.
And and there are things inside them. I mean, the best diamonds are clear
Clear.
inside, they don't have any flaws. But,
Yeah.
But you would see something else in the diamond depending upon the way it was cut. If
Like your own
indeed
reflection, that's pretty
it's
special.
cut, that could be special, if you're that,
Yeah,
if
it's
you're
me.
that way inclined.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I'm in that diamond, there's all of that. So in terms of specialness, I mean, I think it could be epically special, meaning that we wouldn't tire of it, no matter. That's the key.
That's the attitude, isn't
Oh,
it?
That's the
that's
key. You don't
pretty
tire of a thing. Something
Yeah.
special enough that you never like a happy marriage.
Oh,
Aw,
every
that's
day
sweet.
gets better.
Yeah, very rare.
Yeah.
But when it happens, nice for those people, isn't it?
Yeah, and in the
Presumably.
way that Shrek is still iconic, despite there being about 5 movies of it,
Yeah.
it's still a cult classic.
Well, the first one. Do you think
First
like
and
the 5th one is like? Do you think if they'd only made 3 of them, it would be more special than if they made 5 of them?
No, because I think that people love the memory of Shrek so much.
Memory, good word.
The memory.
Yeah.
The
You won't mean
more
memory.
they...
No,
Memory.
Okay.
They love
How
the
would you
memory.
spell memory?
Memery.
Okay, not the O.
No,
that
not memory.
would be memory.
That would be memory. But the memory of, like, the more ridiculous the Shreks get. Like, when they have all those babies, and then it's Christmas, and the SWAT, and
But I
like...
guess then it's like, what are your intentions? Because I
Yeah.
presume you're not making Dirty Rascal Magazine for the memes.
No, I don't. I think they would be a byproduct of its excellence.
Yes. I agree
Oh,
with that.
yeah, that's...
And that's
a
probably the
great
way
to
that
put it,
even Shrek 5,
yeah.
they would if they knew what memes were, they probably did just about.
I think Shrek was almost one of the OG memes, actually.
But was it?
I think memes
written
came
for that?
around in the very early noughties.
Yeah,
Do
they
you
were.
agree when
yeah,
Facebook
yeah,
came
kind
about?
of- kind of
Facebook was
GIFs.
born, memes were, yeah.
GIFs and but that's before Ned Stark doing that thing or whatever he was doing.
Yeah.
But you don't
Walk
see,
into,
Yeah.
you know, that was a really early one, wasn't it? And that's
Yeah.
that's still after that, isn't it? So who
Well,
was
then
that?
Well, I
Memes
think they're
before
probably the
Facebook.
same. No, when was Shrek? I think Shrek was 2001,
That
wasn't
was
it?
2000, yeah. that
First
was
one.
Early days.
Yeah, first one,
So
2001.
that's I think that's the same as
the
Lord of the
fifth
Rings, right?
about yeah.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
maybe those two early memes were birthed at around the same time.
Oh, but I thought that was Game of Thrones. Not was it Lord of the Rings? The one with
You shall. That one does
Yeah,
not
that's
simply.
Lord of the Rings
Well, it's
on.
not simply,
Yeah.
is it Lord of the Rings?
Yeah, Lord of the Rings.
Ah,
One does not
okay.
simply walk to Mordor.
All right. I thought it might be when he was being Game of Thrones, Ed Stark.
No.
No, 20 years earlier. 10
You
years
don't-
earlier.
10 years earlier. Time flies, eh? So they did have memes in Shrek's time. In this scene, new girl Melandra Hamfist is hoping to make an impression with Dan Hemlock in an effort to move up the corporate ladder. Dan's secretary, Marie Trangibel, knows what she's up to, however. Women know, don't they?
Always.
Bryce also makes an appearance and throws his usual grenade into proceedings. Choose roles. So we've got, conveniently, 4 people, 2 men, 2 women.
Okay.
It's almost like I planned it. And we got Melandra and Marie, who do not like each other.
No, they
And
do
this is
not.
their first meeting,
Yeah.
and they do not get on. Okay. The men in this are a little bit incidental. They're a bit sort of, they're powerful, but it's not really about them in this one. They're just
So
reacting.
they don't like each other immediately?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, really? They just get a sense?
Instant bitch look.
They don't know each other and
wow.
immediately don't like each other.
They just get the vibe.
Yeah.
Marie decides
Yeah.
she doesn't like Melandra,
And
and very
to
quickly
be fair, Melandra as well.
reflects.
Yeah.
That
Hatred,
dislike back.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the men are pretty oblivious
Of course.
because they're just going,
This is the 70s. No. Yes, this is the 70s as the 80s. Yes.
yeah, shot in an 80s style. That's important, but it is the 70s. I don't know what. This is probably about the probably 3rd or 4th season. I don't want to spoil it, but this is the genesis of a blossoming, well, a romance that obviously will turn very sour a few years later between Bryce and Melandra. So this is their first meeting, and it's kind of small and a bit like, does this matter? It does matter, because everything I write matters.
Of course.
I think that's fair, yeah.
Right, so who's doing what and how? I'll tell you how. Who's doing what?
I'll take Dan.
Dan Hemlock. I'll be Bryce.
Okay.
I'll be Marie, yeah. Might
Okay,
be
yeah.
a
I'll be
secretary.
Melandra.
Melandra Hamfist.
Is there a voice to the 70s? They spoke a little different.
I assumed when I read it that they were from the United States of America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're in Los
yeah,
Angeles.
okay.
Yeah.
1970. Well, let's think. This is probably 1974. Los
Right.
Angeles.
What's Marie like?
Well,
Is she a bit
Marie is-
passive, or?
Marie's the secretary, who is probably too intelligent for that role. That's not to. I think most secretaries are too intelligent for that
But they
role.
have to play dumb sometimes.
Sometimes they have to.
Well, in the 70s, they would have played
In the
dumb.
70s, you wouldn't have to.
This is about as can't climb much higher. So you're in a high power position for a smart magazine.
Yes.
It's the 70s. You want to keep that job, obviously.
God, yeah.
So
money and stuff.
and what you see around the corner is another woman who perhaps you feel a little threatened by, and with good reason, because in a way, because of the way that society was then, they're actually pitted against one another.
Yeah.
They're not fighting. They're not fighting the men. They're fighting each other
Yes.
because they've got no
Keeps them
hope of
busy.
competing against the men. They can only compete against each other, and so that's
be the most
It's,
favorite. Yeah.
it's impressing the men and killing each other.
Mm-hmm.
Which you still see to this day, actually. You do see it, but maybe
It still happens.
maybe
yeah.
less. It does happen, though.
Yeah.
It does. Whatever they tell you.
Whatever they tell you. Mm.
Right. Internal, we picked everybody. Internal large corner office, yeah, because he owns a third of the company, Dan. 4:30. It's important. Time is important.
Mm-hmm.
And I want somebody to tell me why at the end. 4:30. Dan and Melandra are both behind Dan's desk looking at the physical layout of a new feature for this month's issue.
Excellent work, Melandra. Your ideas for our feature on the best non-Cuban cigars are truly insightful.
Those commie bastards will be crying into their red handkerchiefs.
Both laugh. Marie overhears this and steps into the office.
Mr. Hemlock, I just wanted to let you know that I've completed the typing you wanted me to do early as we agreed, and I have to leave to take my son to the dentist.
4:31. I can't remember the last time I left work that early.
Now. Yes, Marie, I recall some discussion. Oh wait, did you file everything on the spring bikini report?
Oh, I didn't know that was so urgent.
I do like things filed. I suppose if you come in early tomorrow.
No, of course, Mr. Hemlock.
You're a lucky secretary to have such an understanding boss.
Marie flickers a smile as Bryce passes her on the way out. He sees Melandra for the first time. Well, what do we have here?
Oh, Bryce, this is Melandra Hamfist. She's one of our new junior editors.
Junior, eh? And she's already in your office? Bryce Houseblitzer. I own a third of the company, like Daniel here.
Yes, sir, I know who you are.
And yet, you've never been to my office.
I tried, you weren't in. Goodbye, Mr. Hemlock. Mr. Housesplitzer?
Melandra leaves. Bryce watches her go.
She got you there, Bryce.
I like her. We need to look at making her more senior. External, the street in front of the building, 4:35. Melandra steps out of the building where a smoking Marie is waiting.
You've got a lot to learn, sugar.
Melandra turns to see Marie.
Oh yeah? It seems like I'm getting the hang of it.
Those men only want you for one thing.
Will it bring a promotion and more money?
Marie frowns.
Because that's what I want. It's nice to be wanted.
Don't try and belittle me in front of them again. Got it?
Back off, sister, or the dentist will have more than just your son's teeth to look at it.
Melandra walks away as Marie's son arrives with her sister. So, you know, like I'd carry on the scene now.
She goes to the dentist.
Yeah, we have a scene in the dentist, and you know, 'cause it's good to like spread things out a bit. So, yeah.
Wow.
What did you think?
Yeah.
What did you think about the? I don't care what you think about. But what did you think about the time?
Well, it's mentioned 4:31.
Yeah. 4:30, 4:31. It's
Yeah.
mentioned again.
4:35.
4:35. The external scene. 4:35.
Are you still bitter about the bank?
Mm. Oh, they'd be shot.
Yeah.
They'd be shot.
Or
my
are you
God.
doing that thing
Yeah.
where it's in real time? So it's actually exactly 4:35.
No, because we didn't have anybody like in the lift, or we could. So we've done about 2 minutes there and not 6. But no, right?
I think you missed a trick. It should have been 2:30 that she went
Yeah,
to the
2:30.
dentist.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
because of the bank thing.
No,
No, 'cause my tooth
2:30.
tooth's hurty.
Very
Oh,
You know,
I
the
remember.
joke?
I remember
The joke.
that joke,
That
but it
old
was a bit
joke.
more. It was a bit more racist when it was told to me before. So, 4:35.
Mm-hmm.
What does Melandra say early on about leaving work?
Can't believe she left
4:31.
work that early.
I've never left work that early,
Yeah.
and yet she's walking out the office at 4:35.
Of course.
Right? Double bitchiness.
Yeah.
Could be true. You know, she might be like, "Hey, I normally leave at 4:35. You're leaving at 4:31. You know, this is
Yeah.
what's going on here." But
Well,
like,
4:35 is okay.
this person can't be trusted.
What?
Yeah, this is one of those things. She's telling tales.
Oh yeah.
It's a hypocrite.
because she's sort of suggesting to the guys, well, I wouldn't leave work that early, and then she does, and they're not going to check because they're not really. They're just.
We're not switched on.
Well, it's 4. It's 4:30. Why are they even there?
Yeah.
He likes his stuff filed. He doesn't want to file them, and so they probably just have a cigar and go. Yeah, we each own a third of a major smut magazine
Cheers.
in the United States. We're millionaires. Clink. Could be a Monday. It wouldn't make any
Yeah.
difference. It's the 70s.
Yeah.
Do you ever see Mad Men?
Yes.
Yes.
It's set in the
Thinking about
60s.
Mad Men, yeah.
It's going to be similar. Getting boozed up
Yeah.
all the time.
Hell yeah.
Knocking it back. 4:30. Be
Yeah.
hammered already.
Yeah.
How you do the best
6:10
business
probably.
though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because you kind of don't have your
Inhibitions.
inhibitions. Yeah. That voice that tells you don't do it.
Just don't
Do it.
negotiate with anybody because you probably want your guard up a little bit.
Well,
But
that's
they're
Get them.
presumably whoever you're negotiating with in the 70s is also a man who will also
Yeah.
presumably be liquored up.
He needs to have a couple more than you've had.
Yeah.
This is where you've got to be very careful. But this is just an idle Tuesday with secretaries and junior accounts people. So they're just not even thinking about that. They're just going, oh, she's all right. So
And the ladies are swanning off whenever they like.
yeah, well,
4:30,
nobody's paying
4:35,
attention. Nobody's paying attention.
Yeah.
If she'd not come in, you see, she's done herself over. She's come in and she said, oh, well, it's 4:30, 4:31. Oh, remember I got to leave early. If she just left,
Yeah.
he wouldn't know.
But she'll learn, won't she? Like Melandra knows
Just
that she knows how to play the game. She can
Yeah.
just
Just
out the
Well,
door whenever she
ironic
wants.
because
Or
Marie
Marie.
was going, oh, you've got a lot to learn, sugar.
Yeah.
Clearly, Marie is the one with a lot to learn.
If we can do that last bit again, the ladies in the street,
Yep.
and really, because remember this is shot in an 80s style, set in the 70s, but it's shot in an 80s style, and if you really kind of amp up the bitchiness,
Yeah.
this is on the edge of like fur flying. Yeah, this is really like this.
Yeah.
Somebody could throw a punch. They don't
Gina
like
George.
each other
Yeah.
on sight. Yeah, this is like Alexis and Crystal. Yeah,
Is that
Yeah.
a Desperate Housewives?
Dynasty.
Ah.
Joan Collins.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
Jungle
Watch
Islands. I didn't.
Okay. External, the street in front of the building, 4:35. Melandra steps out of the building where a smoking Marie is waiting.
You've got a lot to learn, sugar.
Oh yeah. It seems like I'm getting the hang of it.
Those men only want you for one thing.
Will it bring a promotion and more money? Because that's what I want. It's nice to be wanted.
Don't try and belittle me in front of them again. You got it?
Back off, sister, or the dentist will have more than just your son's teeth to look at.
Zing.
Yeah, they don't like each other. But they will have to form an alliance at some point
Yeah.
because, like, not a friendly one, but
No.
but a
begrudging.
necessary
Keep your
one.
enemies close.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got to do
Against
that.
Another enemy.
Not very quickly, but like yeah, it will have to happen. So I'm not sure. I mean, I like where it's headed. I think what this has going for it is it has a, dare I say, a myriad of strong characters, and I don't think you tend to get that very often. You get look, people try their hardest. I'm not, the people really, writers and people who develop shows and everything. They're like
Well, they do try.
they're doing what they can.
Sometimes.
But they can generally
I'll
only
give
come up with maybe 1.5 good characters, and then everyone else just kind of falls in behind. This, I would say, I mean, we've been through it a few times. I would say I've got 15 or 16. In some ways, it's an embarrassment of riches, but we've got spin-offs we can do. As I said, this has got 15 seasons in it. So there will come a point where it will be an 80s show shot in an 80s style.
Will you then change?
Would you
shoot
shoot
it
it
in
in
a
90s
90s
style?
I've been asked that before, but I'm adamant that we need to keep it 80s. Yeah.
Okay.
So even if we got as let's say a streaming company with let's say there's someone bright enough at a streaming company to understand the potential of this, and they said off the bat, you're in their office, or ideally they come here because I don't really always want to travel. They come here and they say to me, we've been through this script. we understand you have 16 powerful characters. We normally only get 1.5. We would like a 25 season deal.
Yeah.
Then we get into the 90s, right? Then we're in like 1994 by the end of it. But I would be adamant with them. I would say that we're still, might be 1994, like you'd have Nirvana in the background playing or something. But we're going to shoot in an 80s style.
When you say shoot in an 80s style, what are you envisaging?
Well, that was a good example. There's a lot of turning.
Ah, yeah.
Turning away to talk to people. So when have you ever, if you're not doing something, so let's say if you're in the kitchen and you're like chopping stuff, it's important to keep an eye on what you're chopping. You don't go like this for very long, it's dangerous. So if it's shot in an 80s style, there's no chopping happening, but you're facing away from someone and you're talking to them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas if you're not doing something, you never face away from people to talk to them.
Where are you seeing the camera there? If we're having a conversation, is that camera the camera?
The middle one, probably.
I see.
Probably. Well, actually, for us, if it's you and me, it would be that one, and I would. You'd be asking me things,
Yeah.
and I would be answering you like this, and I wouldn't be doing anything. Like there'd be nothing here. There'd be something here. Obviously, there'd be a wall. There'd be a camera, but there'd be something here. But I wouldn't be like I'm not like folding clothes or anything.
Is that specifically 80s? Because I'm sure like soap operas do that, and Supernatural does that a lot.
Well, they're doing the same. They're aping the same. The soap,
Yeah.
this is a soap opera style, but it's
Yeah.
an 80s soap opera style.
Oh, okay.
Very much so. Very much so. And you know, you keep that kind of. Even though it would be the 90s eventually on this 25 season deal, you'd keep the hair as big as you possibly could.
Yeah.
And when it's set in the 70s stuff would be a very kind of garish. Well, the 70s was pretty garish. 70s though could
Shoulder
be.
pads.
That's the 80s.
Yeah.
Mm.
So we're wearing.
We could do
Shoulder
shoulder
pads.
pads in the 70s. You could do browns and autumn shades give way to strong
Your pinks
oranges
and,
and purples, bright, bright like
your fluorescents.
Prince purple. Even before he was famous. Yeah. So you're thinking about colour the whole time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you know one of the things in Mad Men? This is true. One of the things in Mad Men that they would do, and I wouldn't copy it, but I'd probably do something similar. When you had two characters that were simpatico, they would be wearing the same colours.
Oh, really?
Not purely like, oh, she's wearing a green dress and he's wearing a green tie. It would depend how closely aligned they were in the moment. So her brooch might match his tie.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right. Interesting.
They were doing that all the
Interesting.
time. It's other
Very
levels.
clever.
It's a good show, that.
Yeah, they thought about things.
They did think about
As you would say,
things.
the writers put effort in.
They did. They tried.
Kudos.
They tried, but they had talent as well. You know, I don't say
Right.
that lightly. So well done, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Well
So,
done, John.
I think, well done, John. I thought you did a fine job. Now, look, that'll do. Anybody who's out there, 25 seasons is a lot. It is a lot, and I'd probably, to be honest, I'm not going to work for another 25 years. I'll hand it over to someone after maybe 8, but I'll keep taking the money, obviously. So obviously, chances are it would go a little bit downhill after I've left. But there's so much potential there, and I think anybody who can't see that probably shouldn't be commissioning shows. All right, I hope you enjoyed that read through. There'll be another one. 6 days. 6 days time. Peace. It's the 70s, isn't it?
Oh, should we all?
Oh, okay. Maybe I should.
Find your camera. Peace. Should have done that in the last one.
Yeah. I like it.
We can edit this in at the end.
Yeah, I'll put this in the end of that one
Okay.
too. Bye.